Oh, happy Friday, guys. Hope you're all enjoying your Friday. I sure as heck am. I just went and installed a Coleman electric furnace. It was basically a slide in, slide out, like for like. It was an amazing 1 hour furnace replacement. I made my money on it, and my weekend started. It's still the morning hours, and my weekend has started here on this glorious Friday. Wife has the day off. She's out playing already. We're gonna join each other this evening. It's all about having fun. We're gonna have fun all weekend. I don't have anything scheduled. If I get a couple little small service calls this weekend, I'll go do those. But that's all I'm doing. We're partying. We're enjoying life, enjoying family, just enjoying everything that we have on this great earth. And today, I got another little commentary video for you. It's about how to attach flexible duct. Now, I don't know, well, I do know that he did some things wrong here, but he got over 1 million views on it, which is surprising, and I want to see why. And it might just be because it's maybe it's one of the first ones. I didn't look at how many years ago he put it on YouTube, but anyway, I'm going to give you guys my commentary and critique on this video, and I hope you enjoy it. The sheet metal kid. Let's see what he's got for skills here.
Hello, Ryan Murray here from thesheetmetalkid.com, and I am here to demonstrate on how to install flex duct or flex pipe. Alright, let's say that we got our register can installed, whether it be in the ceiling, on the wall, or in the floor. And all we got to do is basically hook some flex up to it if we don't have a damper on it or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate on how we're going to install our flex duct. The tools you're going to need, of course, is a long knife, a pair of wire cutters.
So he does have the wire cutters there. Why is his thumbnail showing him cutting the wire on the flex with red snips? I don't understand that part.
Panduit gun and a panduit strap and some tape. You'll see why we need the wire cutters here in a minute, because I'm going to introduce to you what not to do as a sheet.
So maybe that thumbnail was him showing you the wrong way to do it, since he just said he's going to show you the wrong way to cut that stuff. Let's find out.
Metal worker. So let's say that we only need about 8 foot. But we're just going to use a small section just just for the sake of demonstration. So you want typically a really long, sharp knife, and you're just going to go ahead and make as straight as a cut as.
And I will agree with him here that using a steak knife actually works pretty good. I got an old Ginsu knife that I used to cut flex with sometimes. Good old duck knife, the good old Malco duck knife works well as well. They also make one that has the little cutters. You can cut the wire that are on them. So it's the knife and the cutters all in one.
Possible for yourself, and you can go either way, and go ahead and just cut this all the way through. Be careful you don't cut or stab yourself. I've seen a lot of people do that, cutting flex duct. Probably more so because they're so careful with the sheet metal, but when it comes down to cutting flex, they're just kind of careless with the knife, and they'll end up cutting themselves with the knife. So if you see, I've got this cut all the way through. I've got a piece of wire. A lot of people call it wire flex. This is the reason why, because there's actually a little wire in there. Never, ever, ever.
So it kind of makes me wonder why his thumbnail shows him using the snips then, because that could lead somebody the wrong way if they're just flipping along as a new HVAC installer.
Use your 10 snips to cut that wire. Once you buy yourselves a good pair of 10 snips, don't ever cut wire. Don't let electricians use your your snips for any reason, make sure whoever uses your snips, if you're investing in a good pair like a Malco pair, that you're not letting just anybody and their mom use them. They're a tool, they need to be used correctly, and what happens if you cut this wire with these snips is you'll end up with little...
It almost makes me wonder if he did that to get more clicks, because it made me click on it because it showed him using his red snips to cut the wire. Okay, that's enough on that.
Grooves in your snips, and that's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. Okay, so you got your flex pipe cut. You no longer need your knife. What you need is your panduit strap, and what I like to do to make it a lot easier for myself is go ahead and get this thing started. So it's just basically a big zip tie. Set it there just like that. That way I can easily...
That's an okay way to do it, but if you get your flex on there first and then just wrap it around, I mean, especially when you're dealing with, it looks like that's a 6 or maybe an 8-inch round pipe, it's not hard to get that panduit strap around. Maybe for something like 16-inch or bigger, that might help you, but even then, you can always, unless you got really short arms, you can get your arms around there to pull the strap around. It's not a big deal. You don't have to put it together and do that. Although that's not a bad idea.
It's in reach. I can get it close to where I need it to be, and it's because when you're fighting a lot of flex on the other end and you're trying to get it to go on, it's really not a fun thing to fight with. So regardless to what I've told you in the past.
Okay, one thing that he's doing wrong in my book, right here, is he didn't peel back his insulation. So what I like to do is I like to take the vapor barrier that's around the insulation and pinch it back real good and give myself a good, foot at least of flex hanging out there. Otherwise, you end up fighting that, trying to fall on you when you put that strap on there. Let's see if he fights it at all. I mean, this is a easy tabletop setup, so he probably won't fight it too much.
As far as flanges and crimp ends going in first, flex is probably the only exception. So see how it fits right over the top of that? Now I know it's not going towards the inside, it's not going with the airflow, but that's, like I said, flex is just the exception. So if you notice on these C boxes, they have little beads on them. These beads are where the metal comes out and kicks out like that. They put that in there for a reason, so that way when you slide this flex over and you panduit strap it, it's a little bit larger so
you don't really need those beads. What I do, if it's a smaller duct run like that, is I'll just put a little zip screw in the strap on opposite sides, and then I'll do the same thing on a flex. It's just holding the insulation down. I might just pop one in there to hold it in. Those beads, yeah, they put them there for a reason, but you don't really need to worry about those if you apply your panduit strap properly.
The flex doesn't pull up. So what we're trying to accomplish here is get the flex down, on, and over that bead. It's a little bit different when you're crouching down and you're inside of an attic trying to do this, but for the sake of demonstration, I won't bring you into the attic. We'll let you have that fun yourself. So now that I got my panduit strap started, I can just go ahead and make sure I'm in between those two beads like we talked about. Make sure my flex is all the way down, make sure my panduit strap's wrapped all the way around, and that it's not catching this insulation.
Okay, I want to see how he tensions this down. I got to go grab some more coffee. I'll be right back. All right, cheers. Let's get back to this funny video here.
Anywhere around either. If it's caught on the insulation, you're gonna have a hard time getting your insulation wrapped on the second step here.
See, he's talking about catching on the insulation. Just what I said. You want to peel that outer vapor barrier and that insulation more than what he did, because in a real world installation, when you're trying to install this stuff, it's going to be falling all over you. It's going to piss you off. You're going to be sweating up there. So take the time, peel that stuff back.
So we're going to get this good wrapped all the way around. So this is where the panduit gun comes into play. Take this and you're just going to slide it in just like that. This silver part should be on the outside, and this slides right over the top of it, and you're going to hear it crimp down and clip it nice and tight. Now it's going to take, you'll have to choke up on it and get it a couple good times and then you'll hear that click. What's that doing is it's initiating that blade right there to cut off your Panduit strap. Now,
so I don't know if he's going to mention it here, but those they call them the Panduit guns that tension the flex ties. They have a setting on them. You can make it as tight as you want. If you make it too tight, it'll just snap off on itself. But usually they come out of the box ready to go. But they do have an adjustment on them, so you can adjust how tight the strap's going to be. I don't personally care. I can just pull it tight with a pair of with my hands, and because I'm putting screws in it anyway. So anyway, let's get back to this. See what he does.
Your flex is on there tight. I can literally grab it by the flex, and it is on. So I'm going to untuck all of this. I tucked it in there just so that we can get to the flex pipe, and I'm going to let my insulation fly. I'm going to kind of fold this back, pull it back down to where it needs to be, and on a shorter piece it's a little bit more difficult, but you kind of get the point here. What we want is,
see, I like to keep mine curled up, keep the vapor barrier curled up along the bottom. That way when you pull it down nice and tight and you put your strap on there on the insulation part, you don't have any of that fuzzy hanging out. It makes it look all sloppy. When it's an exposed stuff, it means a lot more, but I like to keep that vapor barrier curled up under there. So let's see what his finished product looks like.
this insulation wrapped around that collar. We want all of this stuff to fit nice and neat all the way around, like so. And that's where I take my Venture tape or Flex Fix tape, and this is just a real thin vinyl is what it is, and this is just to make sure that.
See, and if you keep that insulation curl, you don't need to tape your ends. He's doing it to kind of pretty it up, but it'll already be nice and pretty anyway. There's no need to use any tape when you're connecting these ever, in my opinion. I went to a duct sealing class, and the guy said, and this was actually for the Bonneville Power Administration, the BPA, that was putting this on to lower electrical rates in homes. And he said you don't need to add any mastic, tape, anything when you're doing a flex connection, because when you put that Panduit strap on there tight, it's very, very minimal air. It's an inconsequential amount of air. So you don't need to pookie these before you put the Panduit strap on. I know a lot of you guys disagree on that.
Double dose, good. A lot of guys will kind of scab things in. Will only use this tape to connect the pipe and not a Panduit strap. That's laziness. That's not done correctly. So make sure whoever's doing your install that they're using Panduit straps, that they're really fastening that flex in tight and they're wrapping tape on it. You also want to make sure when you're putting your...
There's nothing wrong with using this tape, but he's just wasting material. You don't need that tape on there. It's doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Flex pipe in that if say you are inside of an attic, you want to make sure that none of this part, and this stuff tears real easy. None of these parts.
And what he's doing there is he said that he's worried. He's worried about the insulation being all over the interior flex pipe there. What he's doing now is he's compressing that insulation with the tape, so he's taking away the R value. Just let that stuff flow, man.
Parts of this flex are too bent. So if we were turning 90 degrees, we want to kind of give it a real gradual turn. We don't want to be like this. Obviously, if you look on the inside of the duct, it's completely cramped. So a gradual turn, that's the way the duct wants to sit. That'll allow the maximum amount of airflow through that duct, and that's really what you want.
If you needed to turn it like that, you'd put an adjustable sheet metal elbow on there. I don't know how this video got 1.1 million views. That's outrageous. Crazy what people will watch. And this is just a kid telling you how to do this. He hasn't been doing this very long, you can tell.
When you have it ran, you don't want to run too much to where it's sitting of your ceiling joist where the insulation is, because if it's sitting down there, then that's where the mice can get it and eat away. A lot of people They'll put way too much flex in there. It'll be sagging down. It won't be strapped up to the joists, and mice will eat it in a matter of a year or two. So you want gradual turns. You want to make sure that this isn't laying down against the ceiling of the floor.
It doesn't matter where it is in the attic. If a mouse wants to get to that warmth, he's going to get to that warmth. That's what he's going for. It doesn't matter if it's laying down in the joist. Here in Oregon, the energy code makes you, if you're going to run flex, it has to be enveloped in the attic insulation anyway, so it's got to sit down low. So forget what he's telling you there.
And just make sure it's strapped up nice and neat. Make sure you got plenty of natural airflow, and that's it. That's how you install your flex.
All right, that's the end of that video. So let's summarize here. So the bottom line is on this video is that pretty much people will watch anything on YouTube and think they're learning something. It's a very, very basic flex installation video. There's a few things wrong with it. Granted, he's just a kid trying to tell you how to do it. But I don't know how over 1 million people watched this video and thought they were getting something out of it. But you know, if you guys want me to make you a video how to attach flex the way I do it, which works very well, and I won't give you any misinformation, let me know. But I'm going to continue to do these videos where I watch these guys. They're kind of fun for me because it keeps me in check and lets me know how much misinformation there is here on YouTube. And you know, hopefully I can help clarify things if somebody's watched this. I mean, obviously somebody has. It's over 1 million people, and I can clarify some things so you don't go out and do something wrong. So hope you guys are enjoying these. I will see you on the next one.